Look, Trent reminds me of me.
Mr. Flores.
I would show up
What's
to
happening?
I would show up to work late and then act like I was mad.
I'm the black guy.
And then I would act like I was mad so nobody told me shit. Like, fuck it, man.
What's
like
up?
something just happened. Yeah,
Hey,
there you go. There you go.
What's going on with you, Trent?
You know, just out there postmating and being exposed to all the COVID.
Nice.
Nice, man. Somebody got exposed. Somebody got to be exposed to it. Thank you, man. Thank you for taking that bullet.
Fuckers be coming out without their masks. Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot my mask. Bitch, just tip me. Shut up.
Hey, you should say, you should do that little line from, remember Eddie Murphy and Beverly Hills Cop 2? What's in it for me? What's in it for me? What about my twin daughters, Monique and Unique? What about that?
I'm trying to get it in there, man, because, hey, I need that money.
You should say, no, that's what you got to say. Now, I hope my triplets don't catch this shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Oh, the new baby. What a struggle.
Hey, I hope my grandson that's in an incubator is all right when I go visit him.
I'm going to start throwing that shit in there, man, because people be cheap.
Next thing you know, you get $100 tips. Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Make-A-Wish starts contacting you.
I'd be like that dude that made $8,300 in 10 days.
God damn. Doing
Hey.
what?
Postmates, or he was doing DoorDash, but he's working 12-hour days and just humping.
$8,300. That's not bad, dude. That's some good Christmas money right there, boy.
Oh, man. You know, like, some people have multiple apps and they just be running crazy. I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah,
$2,000 a week, that's good.
You know what? I don't like people who judge you and say, you're just not hungry. No, motherfucker. I have a short life. I gotta live it. I wasn't born to work 12-hour shifts and shit. Like, for what? Fuck, so I can give more tax money to the government? Fuck that shit.
He's right there going, yay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only person who wins in this fucking business.
The more you make, the more they take.
You see Uber and Lyft were threatening to leave California, man.
Man, you saw when the other companies was waiting to pounce, they was like, maybe we've been thinking about this again.
Nice.
So did you hear about that,
like
Fernando?
4 or 5 companies just sitting there like,
Yeah,
you fuckers leave.
Because because the state wants to make them have drivers be employees. But look, man, I drove for a while. I drove Lyft and all that. That kind of defeats the purpose, to be honest with you. It kind of defeats it, because then you're just a cab company.
And then you got to work when they want you to work.
Exactly.
As opposed to just waking up and starting.
Yeah.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
like, these people are complete. Dude, do you have shitty days? Fuck yeah, you have shitty days. You have days you're like, fuck, man, I don't even know why I left the house. But that's the risk you take when you go into that business, man. And you got to know that.
Independent contractor. You work for yourself. The other day I had a shitty day. I got a $63 ticket. Then I had some other shit happen. I said, you know what? It's time to go home. The Lord says, get. I just went home. I didn't have to go, I hope my boss lets me go early.
Yeah, I hope this law goes through so I get that minimum 15 an hour. Fuck.
You know what? My tax guy actually asked me that question when I did my taxes. He asked me, how does this law affect you? And I'm like, I don't know. He goes, because he knows that I produce a show. Okay. And he said, because you're no longer considered, if this law passes, it's not just the drivers, it's anybody who is considered an independent contractor.
Oh.
Right. So they asked me, how does this law affect you? Like, because they know that I book other comedians and things like that. But like, do you have to consider them employees? I'm like, no, because, I don't book the same people over and over and over again. I mean, I do, but months apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if I was to book like the same people over and over and over again, then they're considered employees.
Or if somebody starts squawking and saying, hey, man, I've been working for you. You got to make me an employee.
But when you have dudes saying, hey, can I be on your next show, man? Nah, man, you were on it last week.
I don't want to pay you benefits.
I ain't your boss and shit. Like, I don't want to, I'm at the 1099 your ass.
Exactly.
Yeah, you and I would have been 1099 at Film LA.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's true. It's like I said, you just gotta know what you get into. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. Don't be trying to fucking, you know what it is? It's that motherfucker doesn't want to hustle. He just wants to get that minimum $15 an hour. That kills off, that fucks up the drivers that, you know, now you're not going to get paid per trip. Now you're going to get paid $15, even if you drive a motherfucker to Rancho Cucamonga from the airport.
And like, there have been days, don't get me wrong, man. When I first started, I was fiending for the money. I was like, God damn, you can make this much doing it like this. Like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you just work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can make $1,500 a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like, you can just basically save. Like today I went out, I started at 4:30 because I was waiting for my cable man. And then I got a couple of fucked up runs, but then I was like, all right, I'll just do $100 in 4 hours and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? $100 in 5 hours, I'm good. You know what I mean? Plus tips and shit like that. It'd be like 120, 130. That's better than a day job.
Yes, it is.
You know?
You're the little paisa. Yes, it is. I like it.
Hey, but sometimes you get people, man, that make you go, maybe I better go back to flipping burgers. Or I give you a penny tip.
Dude, you know what's worse than this? You know what's worse than flipping burgers is maybe I should move back to my pueblo. Like I was better over there. Like, oh, now you know the economy's fucked.
Well, when the Mexicans start going back, that's when
they're like, I ain't getting the fuck out of here, my friend. Trenton, do you want to come to my rancho? I got a job for you.
They're not gonna do you right.
Yeah. Hey, Trenton, look, man, I don't mean to offend you, but I have a job picking chiles. You're like, fuck you, man. I ain't picking shit, motherfucker.
Hey, the way it's going now, man, I say, hey, let me out of this motherfucker.
And you can marry my sister.
Hey, I was just saying this, you know, like you're laughing and shit like that, but I don't like working past a certain hour.
Yeah.
Because all I need, man, is some crazy ass cop. Hey, what are you doing? Bam, bam.
Oh,
now I got money laying next to me, but I'm dead.
Yeah.
No chilies.
Your phone says pick up Saul and he's fucking your dad, bro. That's
I had a text message from one of my friends. They were like, hey, you want to pick some chilies? That's the last message. Then they coming to look for you because they think you're the suspect.
You want to pick some chilies? And I say that because where my mom's from, that's a big, that's like motherfuckers make money off that. They grow chili. They grow serrano chilies. Chiles.
My aunt lives in Asheville, North Carolina. She grows like chilies. She grows okra. When we were little kids, she used to say, y'all get y'all little black asses out here. Y'all think y'all too good to pick in the fields? When we was kids, that's how we made our money. We was like we don't want to work out there. She was like, work out there while you stay here.
You were like, Tia, Black Lives Matter.
You remember, I'm almost 60.
Those days are over, Tia. We don't do shit like that no more.
Who you calling Tia?
And she's like,
Mary.
Just, it's the Mexicans I hung around with.
When I was 12 years old, bro, I went up to Northern California. I have family up in Lodi, California, grape capital of California, to pick grapes because I wanted a BB gun. I wanted a BB gun that my dad wouldn't buy me. It was $100 back then, dude. You know, when I was 12, $100 for a BB gun, but it was nice. It looked like a sniper rifle, had a scope on it and all that shit. My dad was like, I'm not buying you that, but you can earn the money. Go up north and pick some grapes.
You know what I'm saying?
And earn it, right? And I did, bro. Did I ever tell you this story, Cisco?
No.
This is when I got. Let me tell you the story. Are we recording now?
Yes, sir.
Are we good? Okay, good. This is a good story.
Go ahead. Let's go.
All right. I keep in mind I was born.
Hey, hold on before you start. Now a better story than the Lakers winning by 30. Go ahead.
That was nice. That was nice. Yes.
Finally, they stepped up today. They look like shit the other day. Fuck.
Hey, you were like my brother. You were scared in the beginning, though.
I wasn't scared, bro. You know, I'm sorry. You know what I don't like is that they gave Vogel all these fucking players, bro. And I feel for that coach, and I said it the other day. This motherfucker has to get a rotation going. How do you shouldn't be playing more than 7, 8 dudes. He's got to play 10, 11, find time. Dude, JaVale McGee goes in, gets like fucking 9 boards in 13 minutes, and then doesn't play no more. I'm like, fuck.
But him and Dwight are okay. Where the problem is with the guard play.
Yeah.
Because Deion Waiters, he might be a good player, but he's not ready for this moment right now. They just
not a defender. He's not a defender.
You got Smart. You got J.R. Smith. I'm saying like this. Let Caruso run the point.
Yeah, I think so.
Caruso run the point. LeBron doesn't have to do everything. He can get down in the blocks and start his sets.
Well, you think they have a problem now with rotation? Wait till Rondo's ready to go. Now you got another motherfucker. But Rondo's a veteran and championship experience. So
and he knows that system because he played in that system this whole year.
Yeah.
Those other guys, man, Waiters, he didn't play. Smart, they just got in February. They got Waiters in February.
Smith. Shit, I wish we had Marcus Smart. Shit.
Oh man, no. Which one do you
J.R. Smith.
No, but you got a guard too. You got a
Waiters, J.R. Smith, Danny Green.
But one Smart plays for the Clippers and one plays for the Lakers. Those brothers.
Right. No, Markieff Morris.
That's it.
Yeah. No, Marcus Smart is that guard for the Celtics. Anyway, sorry, Fernando. So I just had to throw it in there because Trenton's a Warriors fan. But they're going to get – Hey, Warriors are getting LaMelo Ball, though. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, they are. Dude, that motherfucker's going to be bad.
Okay.
Go ahead, Fernando. So,
Fernando, I want to hear the story.
Yeah, so you went up to Lodi because you wanted a $1,000 BB gun.
Right. So it's a $100 BB gun, right?
Yeah.
And so I tell my dad. Because you know what the thing is? All my friends here, when I was growing up, all my friends – had these BB guns, and I didn't have one, and I fucking wanted one, right? And so I see one at Kmart. It's $100. Coleman, it wasn't like these cheap ass Daisy BB guns that everyone else had. This was a Coleman BB gun. It was fucking nice, and I already have visions in my head of the shit I'm gonna shoot. You know what I mean? So I tell my dad.
What? What'd you say, Trey?
He said black guys. No, man.
Now where he lived, there was they were Cuban.
They were Cubans. There are no black guys here. And the very few black guys we did have spoke Spanish because they were Cuban.
Yeah.
Right? So I asked my dad, can you buy me this BB gun? And he's like, no, but you can earn it. Go up north to Lodi, pick some grapes, right? And I was in year-round school, so I had some time off. Right? Go pick some grapes, earn the money, and that's it. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I figured, hey, listen, every time I would go visit my grandparents who lived in Lodi, it was always a lot of fun. And they lived in an area where, as far as the eye can see, it's grape fields. Your next door neighbor is 2 miles away, and you can't see their house because it's all grapes, like an ocean of grape fields. It was awesome, right? So we go out there. I go out there with my cousins, and my cousins are illegal. I knew that, right? And so my grandfather, he would wake us up at 4 a.m. in the morning and take us out to whatever, grape fields we had to pick the grapes on that day, right? And all the grape fields look exactly alike. They look identical, right? 4 o'clock in the morning, pitch black. I have no idea where we're going, where we're at. They turn left, they turn right. It all looks the same to me because it's all grape fields, right? But they live there, so they know where they're going. And every day that we would, go pick grapes, we would go to a different area, but they all looked identical to me. So that's an important part of the story. So we're out there, we're picking grapes one day, and I hear somebody yell in Spanish, La Perrera, which means the dog catcher, right? So somebody yells, La Perrera. And people around me drop their buckets and just run in different directions. Now, when you're with a group of people, now my cousins, there was like maybe 4 of us, 5 with me total, right? But we were in a group of people, about 40 or to 50 people, in our group. So when someone yells out something you didn't quite catch, they said La Perrera, but I thought maybe they yelled out perros, which means dogs, right? La Perrera. People drop their buckets and just scatter in different directions. I have no idea why they're running, but when you're in a group of people who drops their buckets and start running, even if you don't know what's going on, you're gonna fucking run too.
Right.
You know, because it's scary, right? So I dropped my buckets and I just took off, right? Now I can't see my cousins anywhere. I don't see anybody I recognize. I'm just running. I have no idea where I'm going, but I'm running, right? And in the partitions of the grape fields, I look over to the side looking for my cousins, and I see police cars about maybe 20 yards away on the street, right? So I figured, oh my God, safety, run towards the police. So I ran towards the police, right? And I'm running fast because I'm thinking something bad is here. Someone's chasing us or something, and the police are here to protect us. Right?
Oh shit.
So I run out and I break out of the the grape fields. And I mean, I even, I think I even wiped my brow like, safety, right? And the police officer, he's standing there, right? And he looks at me and he asked me in Spanish, where are you running? Where are you going? And I'm like, here with you. And he goes, oh, really? No, he's asking me in Spanish. And I answered in Spanish because that's how I was raised, And I look at the door and it says U.S. Border Patrol. Now I'm 12 at the time. Okay, I'm 12 at the time. But I'm not stupid. I know exactly what's going on. It hit me like that. And I'm like, oh, shit, it's a fucking raid. And they have a van, they have the whole deal, paddy wagon.
Yeah.
And they get a whole bunch of people and they catch a lot of people. And they're filling them in, and the agent that's standing in front of me, once I realized, U.S. Border Patrol, immediately you start speaking English. I look at him like, oh, hell, hey, man, listen, I was born here. I'm an American. He goes, oh, are you? I'm like, yeah, I'm an American citizen. He goes, well, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh, long story, man. I want a BB gun. My dad's gonna buy it for me. You know what I mean? I gotta make this money. He goes, but how old are you? I'm like, I'm 12. He goes, are you legally allowed to work? I'm like, look, I don't know the laws, man. I just want a BB gun, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, who are you here with? I'm like, I'm here with my cousin.
He started telling on everybody.
No. I knew what was going on, right?
Yeah.
I'm here with my cousins, and they're like, where are your cousins now? I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know where everybody just ran. And I'm like, well, where are you staying up here? I'm like, I'm staying with my grandparents. I'm like, where do they live? I'm like, honestly, I don't know. I don't know what street it is. I don't know how to get there, because all of these grape fields look the same to me. I'm like, well, do you have a phone number? I'm like, the only phone number I know is my house number in LA. That's it. And so they're like, okay, so you don't know how to get home. You don't know where your cousins are. You don't know how to reach your grandparents. You don't, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And I wasn't even lying. I just didn't know. Right? So everyone they caught, they were like, do you recognize this person? I'm like, nope. Do you recognize this person? I'm like, nope. They didn't catch my cousins, right?
Okay.
So they filled the paddy wagon and that was it. Job's done, right? So then the agent tells me, hey, listen, we can't leave you here because you're 12 and you don't know where you live. You don't know how to contact anybody. You don't know how to get there. You have to come with us.
We got a cage for you.
Yeah, well, exactly. We got a cage with your name on it.
Yeah.
But they're like, hey, you got to come with us, man, because you're a minor. So I'm like, all right. So I got in the car, front seat at least. Right? Yeah. Front seat, and they drove me to their field station in Sacramento, like 30 minutes north of where we were, right? So I get there. First thing they do is they're like, call your house. So I call my mom. Now this is around, I don't know, around noon, 12:30 now, right? Because this is about 11 when all this shit went down.
So hold on. So the sun was up when they came in? When they came up to you guys?
Oh yeah, it was like 11 a.m. at this point.
Oh,
fuck.
I
mean? It's like 11 a.m.
I thought it was like during the darkness, like you just fucking ran towards the light and shit.
Oh, no. Dude, listen. Like I said, my grandfather would get us up at 4 o'clock in the morning because he wanted to be the first one there.
Oh,
he had a rivalry. Right. So my grandfather was like the supervisor. He wouldn't pick grades. He would just drop us off and leave.
Oh, shit.
It's like, and he's like, I'll be back at 2 or 3 o'clock, whenever it is that we finish. Right. So we're like, okay, cool. So, and he had this rivalry going on with some other old man that my grandfather wanted to be there first. You know what I mean? So he's like, fuck that old man. So that's why he would get us up at 12 o'clock in the morning, pitch black.
Fuck that old man.
So anyway, they take me to
slippery.
Yeah, exactly. They take us to a field office in Sacramento. Take me, right? And they're like, you know, call your house. So I call my mom, and my mom, my sweet angelic mom, I answer the phone. She answers the phone, right? And in Spanish, of course. And I'm like, hi, Mom. And she's like, mijo, how are you? How's everything? How's it going? And I'm like, oh, you know, everything is going well. I go, but Mom, I just got caught by the immigration. And I couldn't see my mom, of course, right? Because I could hear her, I just hear her voice. Yeah. But I could tell her demeanor just changed, went into full-on panic mode. Because she's like, tell him you speak English. Tell him you were born in America. I'm like, Mom, I told them all of that. She goes, why did they take you then? I'm like, because they fucking left me, man. You know what I mean? All my cousins bailed out on me. They abandoned me. You know what I mean? And they said they couldn't leave me there because I was 12 and I don't know how to get back home and I don't know anything. So they're like, well, okay. So my mom, for whatever reason, my mom she couldn't contact my uncle. I guess she didn't know who was legal and who wasn't legal in Northern California from my family members. Because this is my dad's side of the family.
She was worried.
Right. So we waited for my dad to come home, right? We waited for my dad to come home. And my dad, you know, my dad would usually get home about 5:30. So I called at 5:30. So now I've been there for 5 hours. I called at 5:30. My dad answered. By then, of course, my mom had filled him in, right? So I'm like, hey, Dad. And he's like, hey, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. He goes, all right, that's fine. Listen, your uncle's going to go pick you up. My uncle was legal, right? So my uncle shows up to the place and he says, I'm here to pick up so-and-so person. Then they, one of the agents come and he gets me and he goes, do you recognize that man? I'm like, yeah, that's my uncle. And he goes, what's his name? So I told him what his name was. He was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. So then they didn't even ask him for his documents or his papers, nothing. Oh, shit. But he was speaking English. He was speaking English. Even, he speaks it with an accent, but they were like, okay, fine. It could have been anybody. Anybody could have picked me up. You know, they didn't even ask him for his papers, but whatever. So we're going home. And my uncle's like, what the hell happened? I'm like, well, shit, this is what happened. You know, everybody dropped their buckets and ran. We got to my grandfather's house. And of course, all my cousins, the ones who ran, were all there. And they have like a little barbecue pit outside, making carne asada, right? And the car pulls up and they're like, hey, look, it's Fernando. So I came out of the car and they're laughing at me. And one of them was like, dude, I fucking saw you run straight into the arms of the immigration. He goes, and I was calling out to you. I was like, Fernando. I'm like, where the hell were you? He goes, there's a fucking ditch. You know, there's like, where they irrigate the thing. There's a ditch and there's an irrigation tube, like a big drain pipe. And he goes, I ran in there and I kept telling you, Fernando. And he goes, and I saw you run straight into the arms of the immigration. Right? And he goes, why didn't you? And I'm like, I didn't hear shit, bro. I'm sorry. So then my uncle, the one who picked me up, he thinks it's all funny because everyone's laughing and he decides to be funny. And all of a sudden he says, oh, you should have seen him when I picked him up. He was crying his ass off. He was thinking they were going to deport him. And I'm like, no, that's not true. And I wasn't. I was never scared, not once. Because I knew, hey, I was born in America. Fuck, you can't do shit to me except maybe put me in a cage, right? But now, back then, I didn't know there were cages. So, but I was like, I'm not scared, right? But my uncle just went on and on. Oh, you should have seen him. He was crying his eyes out. Fast forward, 30 years later, we're having a family reunion. And somehow, that story comes back. And my uncle is the one telling the story. Oh, you should have seen him. When I picked him up, he was crying. And I'm like, I took him aside. I'm like, hey, Theo, later on, I go, you when you picked me up, I wasn't crying. That never happened. I mean, I know you tell the story to be funny, but I wasn't crying. And now he's elder, right? I don't think he remembers it quite the way I remember it. But he was like, listen, you were young. It's okay. You were scared. You were crying. And he's trying to convince me that I was crying. And
what
I'm
the?
like, dude, I remember.
Mind tricks. You were crying. Why you crying?
He's like, you're going to fuck my story up. I've been telling this story for 30 years, motherfucker.
Exactly. He goes, from this point on, you were fucking crying. I'm like, yes, sir. But no, I wasn't crying, goddammit.
No,
you know,
shit.
The funny thing, I had my mom's sister. To this day, I eat grapes out of defiance, because she wouldn't let me eat grapes when I was a kid, because she was like, oh, the poor Mexicans are sweating in the fields and they're not getting paid. I'm like, but I want grapes. She's like, you can't have no grapes.
Uvas no.
Right, exactly. No grapes.
No
uvas.
Like,
that was Cesar Chavez. Uvas no. The United Farm Workers.
Well, I knew about that a long time ago. Every time I wanted to eat grapes, she'd be like, not in this house. I'm
Damn.
like, you don't even live here.
She's like, black power.
Mexican power. Solidarity.
What's the guy's name that did that in the Olympics?
Tommy Smith.
Tommy Smith.
There was two of them.
Yeah, it was two of them. Yeah, Tommy Smith. I don't. Nobody remembers the other guy. It's Tommy Smith.
Was John something. I just saw it.
He was second place.
John.
He was second place. Nobody cared, man.
The white guy. Hey, the white guy did it too.
Did he?
Yeah.
The guy right there. Oh shoot! See, that was like he was like the Kaepernick of back then.
Either white,
the white guy,
or Latino. Either white or Latino.
I think it was a white
shit after he did it.
There was a Latino in the background. There was a Latino in the background going, "You did it, man."
They're gonna fuck you up when you get home.
Te van a meter unos putazos, güey. Put your arm down, fool. Don't be stupid.
Look at those gloves.
You're gonna be picking chiles with me, motherfucker. and then you're gonna have to hide in the ditch.
And then you're gonna be crying.
You're gonna be crying when your mom picks you up. Dude, that's fucking what a dick though. I'm sorry, I know it's your uncle, but what a dick to fucking try to make you look like a woman.
You know what? That happens to everybody, because like somehow the story just gets morphed into some other shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like one time I was a kid and I took a shit at my aunt's house and I clogged up the toilet. Man, that story, man, just went on and on. The guy came with the snake and we had a powwow. Oh, I gotta clean this out. Man, it wasn't like that. It was clogged up.
It was a half a pound of shit in there.
You know what I'm saying? She made it seem like he had to take 3 breaks and shit. Oh, I'm gonna be in here all day.
Hey,
call my union.
Hey, speaking of toilets, I just saw somebody posted a picture on Twitter today of a rat snake. They're called rat snakes coming up through the toilet, bro.
That's in Florida.
Yeah.
That's some crazy shit. Florida. That shit happens in Florida. But they said that those snakes don't do nothing to you. They eat rats. That's what they do. Some motherfuckers. So people commenting underneath were saying that they found rats coming up through the fucking toilet. I'm like, oh hell no, dog. You gotta blow that fucking house up.
The rats in my house, they used to drive my car, but that's about it.
They answered the phone in my house. What you want?
Cisco ain't here, motherfucker. Now, can I get back to my stories?
We got the night shift. We got the night shift. They're asleep.
Always when we cooking, somebody got to call up.
Hey, Fernando the other day was telling us a story about how he said he tried to call a girl that he really liked. So it was Christmas Eve. 12:59. So he said, I'm going to call her right at 11:59. I'm going to call her right at 12. So he calls right at 12. Dad answers. The dad of the girl answers. And he's like, who is this? You know, that's what we were talking about. I said, these kids have it easy now because if they call a girl, it goes right to her cell phone. They don't have to call dad or the house phone and then ask for the girl. We had to do that shit growing up. That was, dude, you know how nervous I would be when I would fucking call, bro? I said,
rehearse.
Like, please, dad, don't answer. Or mom, just let her answer. Didn't I tell you I was going to call at fucking 8:30, man? You know, like, you know. But
and the
he
mom
says
would always be like, what you want? and be giving you 20 questions and shit. You want to be like, bitch, just let me talk to so-and-so.
Hey, so he calls at 11:59 at 12 midnight, and then the dad answers like, "Oh, good, buenas noches, señor. ¿Puedo hablar con Wendy?" I forgot the name of the girl, whatever. And he says, "You know what time it is?" Or what do you say, Fernando?
Yeah, I know. He was like, you know, do you know what time it is now? Here's the thing. I called at, you know, because Latinos, we celebrate Christmas
at midnight.
Christmas Eve, and
Yeah.
wait at midnight for Christmas Day. That's when we open our presents and shit, right? So I figured, it would be a sweet gesture to call her at midnight to wish her a Merry Christmas, right? So I called the house. Yeah. Oh, dude, the dude answers, right? I mean, it rings and rings and rings, but he finally answers, you know, and he's like, "Hello," and I'm like, you know, "Oh, you know, buenas noches, señor. ¿Puedo hablar con Carla?" Right? And he's like, "Who is this?" And I'm like, it's Fernando. And, you know, and he's like, you know what time it is? And now he's angry, right? So, of course, at this point, I'm like, well, you better say something nice. So I'm like, "Merry Christmas, sir." Hey. And he's like, "You know we're Jehovah's Witnesses, right?" Oh, shit.
They were Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah, that's when I found out that Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate Christmas because of this man who answered the phone at midnight. But
he didn't know that girl was a Jehovah's Witness. He had no idea. He had no idea. So he fucking told. Not only did he call at midnight, but then he wished somebody a Merry Christmas.
Exactly.
Wow, let's give it up for the Trinity. They don't believe in that either.
That's like calling a Jewish girl's house and then saying "Assalamu alaikum."
Or don't you like the Palestinians?
Hey, my mom wants you to invite you over for some carnitas.
I got a cousin in Hamas. He's got a spot, he says, in school on the West Bank.
You know what? You know what's funny? What we used to do, we used to crank call people on three-way. And one time, my little cousin, you know, he was like in 7th or 8th grade. I was like 2 years older than him. So we're like 10th grade. And then me and my buddy, he went to school with you. He went to high school with you, Fernando. You might know him. I'll tell you later. I don't want to drop names or whatever. But
It's just witness protection.
No, but you know, you never know. Motherfuckers don't want their business out there and shit. You know. So my little cousin says, "Yeah, I like this girl, but she doesn't like me back." You know, he's like, "Fuck." I go, "Do you have her number?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Fuck it, let's call her. Let's call her."
Yeah.
Hold on. So we call this girl's house. I'm on the other phone, fucking covering it, you know, listening. My buddy, I don't know, dude. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he fucking didn't laugh or anything. He calls, "Yes, hello. May I speak to the parents of, Maria Hernandez?" And then it was the dad. "Yes, this is him." It's like, "Hello, sir. This is Mr. Jimenez. I'm the counselor at your daughter's school. She attends, I think what the name, not Whaler Middle School. It's in Linwood. I can't remember the name. Hostler Middle School." And, you know, it's come to my attention that your daughter hasn't been present at school for the last 2 weeks. Is everything okay? And he's like, "I drop her off there every morning. And maybe there's something wrong with your system." And then my friend starts rustling papers. Like he's looking through shit. Like he's looking through fucking. So you can hear the papers rustling. He goes, "Hold on, sir. Let me see here." And all you hear is like, here's this rustling. He goes, "See, I show here that on the 12th, she was not present to periods 3, 4, and 5. On the 13th, she didn't show up at all." And he just goes for like fucking 10 days straight, bro. Like, dude, he got that girl in so much trouble. Dude, he set up a meeting for the next day. My cousin said the whole family showed up to the fucking meeting for the girl, to the meeting with a guy that didn't even exist. Dude, talk about some cold shit, bro. And that's the kind of shit we used to do. That's the kind of shit we used to call operators. You ever do that? And then have the operators talk to each other? They think their lines got crossed.
Hey, no, you remember before caller ID?
Yes, this was before that.
Hey,
this is before caller ID. We would have been fucked with caller ID.
Hey, we used to call up our Domino's and shit like that. Order about 20 pieces, send it over to the homie's house.
Oh yeah.
We didn't pay for it. And then the Domino's guy come over, bring the pizzas and shit. And then the next day, your homeboy be like, man, some motherfucker called the Domino's and them motherfuckers brought 20 pieces over. And he be talking to the guys who did it. We be like, what? Oh, man, this motherfucker did that to me last week, too. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, you can't do that no more, dude. You can't do that anymore. Hey, but going back, Fernando, what you were saying on the story about, you know how the guy started talking to you in Spanish, you know, like the ICE guy, you know, Control guy starts talking to you in Spanish, assuming you know he's this little brown kid, you don't speak no damn English.
No, he was setting him up.
Yeah, of course, but like, you know, I think we were talking about this before, and I asked you, I said, does it bother you when you meet somebody who clearly looks Latino, Mexican or Latino, and then they're like, I don't speak Spanish, you know? And I asked you, does it bother you? What'd you say? What'd you say?
Okay, it kind of does, right? But I've been on the flip side of that. I understand that not everybody, just because of the way they look, maybe they look straight up fucking Mexican, you know, nopal on the forehead, you know, whatever. But maybe they were just raised here. You know what I mean? Their parents could be straight up, you know, very native Mexican, you know, Mayan, Aztec ancestors. So they look, you know, very Mexican Indian, right? And so you think, you know, this guy has to speak Spanish, but maybe they were just raised here. You know what I mean? But it kind of does bother me when they give me the attitude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you don't speak Spanish, say it. You know, oh, hey, look, I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish. Cool. But when they're like, I don't speak Spanish, that's what pisses me off.
Yeah, like it's a fucking disease. Like it's a curse to speak Spanish.
Right.
Because there used to be a time, though, that the mentality was, I don't want you to speak Spanish because you're going to be held back. See, I'm 60, so I can just tell you, back then, my mother used to pass. She was light-skinned. And
you're 60?
Almost. I just rounded up.
Bro, it's true what they say, man.
Black don't crack.
Black don't crack.
Hey, it does. We just don't do stupid shit like our Caucasian counterparts and make it crack faster.
Like stand in the sun all day.
The motherfuckers be swimming with sharks and oppressing minorities. That shit'll make it age.
No, but I get what you're saying, Trent, but this is what's you know, I mean, I'm 45. Fernando's probably like around the same age as me. And it's the people we went to school with that have this attitude. It's like they grew up in the same era as me. So it's okay if you don't speak Spanish. It's just what Fernando just said. They act like it's a fucking curse that you speak Spanish. Now that's what bothers me. Like when they go,
it's the same thing when people say I'm not from the hood.
Yeah,
you know, it's like.
But
there's
like
the way to say I didn't grow up in the hood, and there's the way to just shit on people and say I'm not from the hood or my family never did that. That's a little bit too much.
Yeah,
it's the attitude.
It's the attitude. Well, I think that's what bothers people. I don't think it bothers us so much. It's like I tell a story, and it's a true story. When I was in Texas, and I walk up to this dude, and he has a work shirt on, and it says Julio on the fucking shirt. It says Julio. I mean, what do you expect when it fucking says Julio, right? And I go up to him and I tell him in Spanish. I said, oye, disculpe, ¿me puede decir dónde queda el 7-Eleven más cerca de aquí? You know, where's the nearest 7-Eleven? Oh, man, I don't habla español. I'm like, what the fuck? You know
where you find that a lot? Is in Texas.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of Latinos, especially Mexicans in Texas, that identify more with the cowboy shit than they do with Latino shit. And that fucks me up. But at the same time, I say to myself, well, I got to be open-minded too. But still, when they're like, well, I grew up here and da-da-da-da. Like when I see those Texas Trump, Latinos for Trump,
Yeah.
Man, they'll turn your ass in. I think he's illegal. And get the black fella too. I'm sure he's done something.
No, but you know what? There's a cross culture there on the border of Texas and Mexico. So the people of Nuevo León, which is a state just south, and the people of Texas, and it doesn't matter if they're white or Mexican. There's a cross. That's where norteño music comes from. And if you listen to norteño music, the beat, it's just like country music. Boom, 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 boom. And if you listen to country music, it has that same beat, that same rhythm. I was listening to a country song today, but with black guy singing, Darius Rucker, Hootie and the Blowfish. You know?
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm listening to him sing. I like some of his songs and shit. And I'm listening, and I never listened to the rhythm in the background. I'm like, sounds just like a fucking Intocable song and shit. You know, like so I get it. And you get, and the people in Southern Texas, they speak Spanglish, and the people in Nuevo León, Mexico, they speak Spanglish. So it's the same people. So
but
like
when you meet Latinos from like Houston and Latinos from El Paso.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them, man, they love their Willie Nelson. And you be like, wait a minute, the Mexicans in Cali are different. You know?
Oh yeah, no, we are
different in Texas.
You know, it's funny that you bring that up, Cisco. It's funny that you mention that, because the one thing I've noticed about Mexicans who like country music is that if you notice, and I only say this for the few people that I know here, you know, in Southern California, that happen to be Latinos and they happen to like country music, is the one thing they all have in common is that they're all Trump supporters. Which trips me out, right? Because they're Latinos.
Yeah.
They love country music and they're Trump supporters. So to me, I forgot what the word is. The thing that makes them all the same is country music.
Mm.
So it's just my theory that it's country music that is evil.
Well, this is the thing, bro. Like when I like country music, I'm not a Trump supporter. You know, I'm not a Republican. You know, but Texans are known for being conservatives. I mean, the Christian values and they like the no state tax shit. You know, they like all that. So, you know, it's funny because I tweeted today. I put a tweet because people are always like that. Californians are leaving because it's so expensive. They're going to other states, and the Californians are going to ruin their states.
Whatever.
And I said, you know, motherfuckers, wait a minute. You are ungrateful. What you should do is thank Californians for carrying your fucking economy, motherfucker, for the last 30, 40 fucking years. Because if we were deciding to fucking secede from this country, it'd be all over for your asses.
If California was a country, it would be the fifth largest economy in the world.
Yeah. Right behind
that again today.
Yeah, behind Germany and ahead of who was number 6? I can't remember. But I know it's behind Germany's number 4, and we'd be and dude, the United States would drop. They wouldn't even be in the top 5 no more. Because we got technology, we got entertainment, we got agriculture, we got everything.
We got the homos.
I'm not against people from other states. Look, man, I have nothing against people. I think, you know, it's cool. I just don't like the people who talk shit. If you're going to talk shit, you better get and I told somebody was shitting. I said, hey, man, you better get your facts straight, bud. You know, when you talk shit about California, we carry this country economically, and it ain't even close. The GDP ain't even close. We're double of the next state, and that's New York. New York's the next state. No, Texas. Texas is like 1.7. We're like fucking 3.5 GDP in the millions. So we're double, you know, and Texas is bigger.
They've always painted California as this whole liberal, far left, crazy kind of place like that.
Yeah, they haven't been to Irvine, that's why.
They've never been to Lodi. Tulare.
Oh, yeah. Tulare.
You know, Yuba City. When I went to Yuba City, I told you this. We played basketball. Man, the white people up there had never seen black people. They wanted to touch our hair. I was like,
oh yeah, you did tell me.
Wow.
You know? Yeah. A lot of brothers came up on some white Wu-Tang too because they wanted to touch the magic wand.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I heard you turned into a devil and you had a tail after midnight. Well, come in here and I'll tell you a tale.
We're going to smoke some weed and you're going to touch a log. Puff the magic dragon, motherfucker.
I'm going to show you some devil eggs.
No, dude, but yeah, so going back to the Spanish thing, have you ever done that, Trent? Have you ever spoken Spanish to like a dude that you met, and you know his name is like Carlos Alvarez, and then he's like, hey, man, I don't speak Spanish, man. Have you ever run into that?
Dude, I tell you a story now because I'm renting a room with like from Salvadoreños.
Yeah.
And you know, we speak Spanish, Spanglish. And so like a lot of times, man, I catch myself doing it, but like, you know, I grew up speaking Spanish, but then I'll speak to Latinos in Spanish, and I'll be like, oh, that's fucked up. He probably thinks I just assumed he just spoke Spanish. And then some of them have actually said, I'm not Latino, or, you know, my dad is Mexican, but my mom is white. And I'm like, oh, my bad, bro. How you doing, Chad?
Is that like going up to like any African American? Slide me 5, brother. And he's like,
they do it all the time.
I agree. And they do. I know they do. I know one. There used to be a comedian. Who was it? Oh, it was Jason Collins. That white dudes introduce their black friends differently. They're like, man. This is Todd. This is Mike, and this is my man Jerome.
You know what I'm saying? Or like when I bring stuff to people, they go, hey, player, I got you on the app. I'll be like, right. And then I be like, and I walk away like, this fucking guy.
Hey, so has this ever happened to you, Trent? Because Fernando mentioned this the other day, and it's something that I've done a bit about when they go, oh, this is my buddy Trent. He's black, but he's cool.
He's black, but he's cool.
Like, motherfucker, what else could I be?
Cisco, you know this one.
Yeah.
Man, he's the whitest black guy that I've ever met. I'm blacker than him.
Oh, fuck.
I'll be like, motherfucker, ride with me to the Compton Sheriff Station. We'll see which one of us gets rousted.
Yeah, let's see how black you are, man.
You know what? At that same time, I have I don't have it on me. It's actually in my car outside. But I have a hoodie with Mickey Mouse that I bought at Disneyland. And, you know, it was one of those times where it was like mid-September. You know, we just kind of had a heat wave, you know, a few days back. And so I'm thinking, well, I'll go to Disneyland. I'm just going to wear a T-shirt. But it started to get cold at night. Yeah, so I'm like, shit. So I went and I bought a hoodie. And it has a Mickey Mouse on the hoodie, right? And I thought, well, fuck it. You know, no big deal. It's gray, you know, just Mickey Mouse. Doesn't say Disneyland, just Mickey Mouse. That's it. So very interesting story with that thing is that whenever I wear it, when I go to the store, you know, fucking CVS, Food for Less, whatever the heck. When I wear the hoodie, they speak to me in Spanish. If I don't wear the hoodie, and sometimes it is the exact same clerk at the cashier. When I don't wear the hoodie, they speak to me in English. When I do have the hoodie on, they speak to me in Spanish. So it makes me wonder, what about Mickey Mouse makes me look illegal? I don't fucking know.
But you know, I was thinking about that.
Luckily you weren't wearing it the day you got chased, bro.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't have believed me.
You'd have been in TJ with a Mickey Mouse sweater on.
And then 18th Street would have been like, this fucking goofy guy.
Yeah, sure you were born here, buddy.
But you know, it goes back to, you know, images. You know how they did the surveys, the studies, you know, children of color, they picked the white dog because the white dog is perceived as good and all this other shit. I was thinking about this today. That's why I don't work late at night.
Yeah.
Certain people get triggered by images. The news inundates people with images. They flood images. So you see a Latino, you know, you either in a certain light, you're going to think, oh, he's this way, or oh, he's that way. 9 times out of 10, it's negative when you see blacks and Latinos in a certain way because there's so many negative images that are being put out there. You walk through a neighborhood, people are like, what is that guy doing over here? He looks suspicious. We better keep an eye on him. You could be like delivering food or, you know, like in my side hustle, looking for vacant houses. You know, I got to walk by people going, hey, how's it going? Hey there, good morning. How's it going? I just bought me 50 business cards with a big ass smile and my company name and logo. So when people look at me and they want to do a double take, here you go. And all the description is there, so you can give it right to the police. Want to make it easy for you. You know what I mean?
It seems like as a society, we're all walking on eggshells now, man. That's a fucked up part. That's not living. That's a fucked up way to live, to be honest with you. Like to worry about, like, you know, about your presence, about what you say, about where you go, about who you meet, about
But for people of color, we've been having to do that for years.
I know, but
I talk about is like when I first started acting, you know, the image that they want to sell you to America is not like, yo, what's happening, man? What's going on? Whoopie whoop. They want you to be in that sweater. You've seen all my pictures of Cisco when I first started acting with the sweaters and, you know, even the Wayans, you remember? We're brothers. We're brothers and we're colored. And then they were basically giving you the silent diss, like, no, fuck that. We don't want to be those kind of black people, because we're not those kind of black people, or we're not those kind of Latinos. But people want you to, like, even Cisco's got this one picture, he just looks so cheery. He's like, and I was like, when I saw it, I was like, I'd give that guy my wallet and probably let him fuck my sister too.
Which one is it? Am I wearing like a leather jacket?
You took a whole series of them years ago, and it was just, you know, like I always compared you to that guy, the detective in Roger Rabbit.
Oh yeah, Charles Fleischer, the comedian.
No, the detective.
Oh, the detective.
The gumshoe guy.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know,
believe it or not, I've never seen that movie.
Oh man, if you saw that guy, when I first saw you, I said, damn, man. And I didn't even know you were Latino at that point. I was like, man, this white dude's pretty cool.
This white dude. This white dude with a Latino accent. What the fuck?
I saw your picture. I was like, oh, yeah. One of those Latinos. And then I know
one of those sellouts.
Fucking cock blocking. Get the fuck out of here.
One of those sellouts.
Pretty much. But see,
I don't speak Spanish, man. Fuck.
Hey, that's the kind of shit that fucks with a lot of people who do sell out, because they want to be included so bad. They think, like, when you look at the blacks and the Latinos for Trump, they're seeing some of the worst shit. Like, oh man, all this, you think you're gonna just get free shit. You know, as this election comes out, they're showing the states that are receiving more aid and more welfare are states with a larger population of white people, not Latinos, not blacks, but white people. But the people that come on TV, Biden and Kamala, they just want to give everybody everything. And them Democrats, you know, you could just wake up. And this is Latinos and blacks saying this shit. You know, you think, like, when I was a kid, I had to work for it. But now everybody just thinks they're supposed to get shit. And I'm like, oh, man, you can't be so far off. But they're slamming their own people because they want to be accepted, not knowing that they're never going to accept you. They'll accept you so.
You're preaching to the choir on that one, dude. It's like, this is why I think a lot of minorities, you know, I think this is why we say shit like, I don't ski, that's white people shit, because we feel like when you go do something like that, you're trying to be accepted. You're trying to be accepted. You're trying to fit in, and it bothers us. Because, and I said this, I tweeted about.
A lot of times it bothers people because they don't do it. They can't do it too.
Yeah. Oh, that too.
And like when you get that, Fernando said that attitude. When somebody goes, well, we went. You hear a black dude, we went skiing and we went. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking what, man?
So you ever notice? Here's something I noticed the other day. You ever notice Latinos and black people? We brag about shit that is just normal shit to white people. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
Like, okay, for instance, like, so I was at the beach the other day, and you could tell that this Latino family was just so proud to have a paddle board. Like, oh, we got a paddle board. And then the white people are out there just fucking going out there with their paddleboard, just like it's normal shit every day. But the Latino family, they're like the only Latinos that had one out there, so they were superior. And dude, listen, I'm not like, this is not like hate, whatever. I saw it. I know I could recognize this shit. They were acting superior. They were acting like you guys can't afford, or you guys don't have one of these. Motherfucker, I'll go buy 5 of them. Hey. You know, like in my mind, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't waste my money on shit. Like, what's up?
You know, in Downey, that area that they call the Latino Beverly Hills.
Oh yeah.
You should see some of those people, man. Those people, you can see when they come out their house sometimes.
Oh, they talk shit about Latinos.
You know what I'm saying?
They talk shit about Latinos. I know some like that. I mean, not all of them. Not all of them, because my cousin lives there, so I ain't gonna talk shit about her.
I know my cousin.
But you know what? Let me tell you something about my cousin. She worked her ass off to get. She has one of those mini mansions, like that, those big fuck. But she worked her way up at a Chinese company, started fucking like in the factory to become like vice president or some shit like that, where she goes to China and makes the deals for fucking textiles and all this shit. Like,
I got a girl that works over. I got a girl that lives over that way, and she's cool as fuck. Her family always asks me, do I need shit like I'm broke? But I take it anyway, because I'm like, fuck, I'm not passing up shit. You know, exactly. $100 to take your daughter out, why not?
Right? But it seems like so to the southeast LA, southeast Los Angeles, Downey is like you made it. That's always been like the place. Like, oh, now I live in Downey. You know, now my shit don't stink.
Hacienda Heights too.
Yo, there's Whittier, Downey, Hacienda. Now my shit don't stink. I have assimilated. I have
canyon. We live up in the canyon.
I have completely assimilated, and now I don't speak Spanish anymore. It's
I don't even eat chicken in front of people.
That's in my past. We don't let the chickens in the yard. We have them in the coop now. We have them in a coop. Yes.
Actually, they tell us when they want to be killed.
Our chickens don't speak Spanish either.
They cluck in English.
Bro, right. You want to hear something funny? And we're just joshing. I mean, like, obviously not all the people are like that. I don't want people thinking like, oh, you fucking dicks or whatever. Nah, you know, I mean, it's just some of the people you run into are like that. Like, okay, for instance, today, this girl, so I told you, Fernando, I was at Starbucks in Belmont Shores, you know.
Long Beach.
Yeah, Long Beach. You know, the beach.
Actually, listen, Belmont Shores. They make sure it's Belmont Shores.
Not Long Beach. Yeah, exactly. No, they're proud to be Long Beach because
Bixby Knolls.
Oh, Bixby Knolls. That's
same thing. Bixby Knolls, then Long Beach. If you say 21st and Atlantic, oh, that's Long Beach right there.
Yeah.
Oh, PCH. Oh.
Anaheim and Atlantic. That's Bixby Knolls.
Yeah, that's Long Beach right there.
Well, Bixby Knolls is like fucking rich.
Yeah.
But so there's 2 Latina girls, like sounding white as fuck, like, oh my God, the 2 Latinas just going at it. But I know they spoke Spanish because my tia Maria, you know, she's like, you know, like, so they would pronounce the tia and the Maria. They would say it fucking perfect. But so this black guy there goes, oh, that's your dog. You know, they're walking dogs, so they're trying to fit in, assimilate with all the other, because, you know, that's an area, 2nd Street, where like white people walk their dogs. So, you know, I was telling you, Fernando, right? So these girls are walking the dogs, and the one, you know, my wife's there, and my wife's looking, look at these chicks. Like, my wife's just like, these fucking girls, these uppity ass chicks, you know, like, and the guy goes, oh, so that's your dog. So does your dog speak English and Spanish? No, my dog only speaks English. It is not bilingual. And like, she made it a point. Now, I don't even think he asked, does it speak English and Spanish? He said, your dog speaks English? Yes, my dog is not bilingual. Like, motherfucker didn't even ask that shit. But like, she felt like she had to say, we don't associate with that. And I'm like, this fucking broad over here, dude. And it's like, that's the kind of shit that rubs people the wrong way, bro.
I just had a girl yesterday tell me she's afraid of black dick. Now, she was trying to like get me to go, oh, my dick is so pretty, which it really is. But still, you know, I'm like, I can't believe I'm indulging in this conversation. Oh no, I'm still tight. How many kids you got? Bitch, you could drive a car through that motherfucker. A small, smart car, but still a car through that motherfucker.
No, you say they call your vagina the Redwoods because you could drive right through it.
You know what I'm saying? Probably whistle on its own.
When you hula hoop, when you hula hoop, it's like blowing on the top of a bottle.
Boy, at every birthday party, it just starts blowing bubbles.
That's your side gig. That's your side gig right there. You just jump into a puddle of Dawn soap with water and then run around, and bubbles just start coming.
The older I get, man, I always just try to tell myself not to generalize, but yeah, I get a wide variety of people, man, and it's like for me, I'm like I fucks with certain people because they cool. And other people, I just go, man, that's your trip. Live your life. Do your thing. Even, like I was talking about these Latino and Black Trump supporters. They were so happy to see Trump at the White House. You'd have thought he emancipated them and shit. Oh, we got to sit down and talk to him, and he was so funny. Did he?
Oh, yeah.
With the whip?
But what's so weird is Trump. Let me tell you something about Trump. I didn't vote for Trump. I'm not a Trump supporter. He's kind of grown on me a little bit. I wouldn't say as far as to say, oh, now I'm a fucking Trump guy. But I've kind of studied him. That dude ain't even fucking Republican. He's so like anti-Republican, bro.
So everything.
He don't give a fuck about nobody but him.
Steve Bannon today or yesterday just got arrested for like fraud. Yeah. You know what I mean? Morning.
That KKK motherfucker? That's a KKK motherfucker right there, man.
Donald Trump's friends are rich. When Dave Chappelle said, Donald Trump don't give a fuck about y'all, ask the farmers. The farmers know, but Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck about anybody except the rich and people that say, you all right, Donald. As soon as you start questioning him, man, he takes your ass to task. He's a racist. He'll tell you, go back to where you came from. And people were born here.
His wife wasn't even born here. That's the craziest shit.
And the people that are like picking up his flag and running with it, they think he really cares about them. They are collateral damage in his movement. His movement is money, and his movement is power, AKA the Russians. Yep. So like when people start going, Donald Trump is going to clean up this country and he's going to do this and do that and he's going to bring jobs back, the motherfucker still has his own shit made in China.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to bring jobs back, but you're employing motherfuckers in China to make your shit.
He probably, before he became president, he probably told those people close to him, watch how much money I print when I become president.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm
gonna print cash like a motherfucker.
Hey, he said like this. He said, once I get in, they'll never get me out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude. Hey, Putin ain't getting out. That's his boy. Putin ain't fucking leaving. He just shot a dude yesterday. Like Putin just had a motherfucker killed or some shit. Like some dude running against him or something.
Hey. Trump said Portland is a problem. Chicago is a problem. New York is a problem. Send the secret police.
He's from New York.
What have you seen on TV, secret police? Secret police supposed to be secret. These motherfuckers, they just dressing in secret, but you can see them on the news kicking ass every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, we're going to do this in secret. Get those cameras over here, quick.
Dude, that's funny if you're in Mexico and you say, oh, el presidente de Rusia es Putin.
Yes, that is true. That's the first thing I thought of. Because when you speak Spanish,
you gotta handle everybody.
Putin, that is hilarious.
Putin means like you're gay, like you're like puto. You're like, oh, it's Putin, like he's a little gay. He's a little gay.
He's a little
Putin.
Gay, yeah. Little gay. Kind of gay.
The first time I heard that, I was like, oh my God, this motherfucker, that's gonna be the butt of every joke in Spanish right here. Putin. You little gay. He's a little gay dude. But hey, so how do you feel about the PC police, man? The PC police, the shit we go through now. Like, you gotta be like politically correct. Well, you don't have to be, but hey, the motherfuckers could, you know, they might hear something we say and be like, yeah, don't watch that shit no more. And they're writing YouTube and Google, fuck that guy, fuck those guys, ruin their, like, you know, they think they're gonna ruin your life and shit.
That's what enhanced this right wing shit, because everybody, even I, you know, like you say, you was digging Trump. I was digging a few things. Like, I was like, America first, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
The economy, that sounds cool. Getting a handle on this shit, that sounds cool. But then, you know, like, a lot of that was because I was really getting tired of people going, well, you have to accept this and you have to accept that. My whole thing is, if it's America, then both sides have to be, you know, like, respected. Like, I don't like magma hats, but to say a motherfucker can't wear a magma hat, but then this guy can wear a Black Lives Matter shirt,
yeah.
You know, even if
Goodyear did that, right?
Saying, yeah,
and Goodyear.
Even if you're saying make America great, and there's implications on what that means,
yeah,
it's still, you can't say, well, you can't wear that, but you can wear this, because that gives the racists the fuel for fire to say, this is why we do what we do, even though we know they don't need fuel for fire. These motherfuckers, you know, they see a black guy, Latino guy, I don't like Latinos. The only thing they can do for me, you know, shit like that.
Yo, dude, we're
this PC culture.
The fucking cancel culture, all that shit, like them trying to cancel everybody. But those are leftist people, bro.
Yeah, and the left is just as scary.
Oh, no, the leftists are the more racist ones, to be honest with you. They're the ones that'll be like, Black Lives Matter, but then they'll see you walking down the street and by themselves, and they'll fucking clutch their purse or have 911 on, like Chris Rock said, 911.
Too. They both do the same thing.
The who?
Just one is more. The left and the right do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just one is just a little bit more on this.
Yeah, but
the other one is like this.
Yeah, but the right-wing people, you know they feel that way. The fucking left-wing people, they sit there and well, you were talking about it. Weren't you the one that told me about the lady at the park that called the cop on the guy in Central Park or some shit? Yeah. She was a liberal chick.
Man, didn't you see that other lady? But did you see the other lady that was on her farm or something like that? And she just started hollering and yelling, oh, he's raping me, he's doing this. She was conservative. So it goes both ways. And I mean, this dude is taking pictures of her. And she's going, get the people over here quick. He's beating me. Oh. And he's got his camera on her. And she's just going off. I said, man.
Hey, imagine you could get some girl to do that. Like, hey, let's call my friends and act like I'm just fucking the shit out of you. Oh, he's going deep. Oh, you know save me.
You know what I want you both to look at? I saw some scary shit about the women in Israel.
What happened?
Them ladies, man. Like this one dude, like the women over there, they're immune. Like they could say, like, make false allegations against you, and the police will arrest you. Like you break up with your girlfriend and your girlfriend texts you, oh, you think you're funny, huh, fucker? You should definitely never go there. Be like, you think you're funny, fucker? I'm gonna call the police and they're gonna come get you. And they come get you. There was this one lady in the car, she wanted to smoke, and the guy said, no, you can't smoke in my car because, you know, it's a horrible smell, plus I don't smoke. She's like, yeah, shut up. And he's like, no, you can't smoke in my car. Lady was touching him, everything like that. Soon as he like tried to put the cigarette out, she said, you're gonna go to jail. And then she started hitting herself. Oh, help. And the policeman was like down the street and he heard a commotion. And when he came up to the car, she was screaming and yelling. First thing they do, they have to listen to the accuser. The man, he doesn't get shit. It's on YouTube. It's scary as fuck. But the man doesn't get shit. And if this guy hadn't put a dash cam in his car, he could have been facing 20 to 30 years.
God,
I said, I'll never go to Israel. But then they said Arab guys be going over there and fucking the Jewish women. I'm like, oh, okay. It's just for the Israelites.
Well, dude, that's fucking scary as fuck.
It's scary. But that's how, going back to here, that's kind of like here. Men are guilty until proven innocent. We're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. A woman can make an accusation and cancel culture comes in and goes, yeah, he did it. We're canceling him. No trial.
Nothing.
His word versus her word. And see, that's what it was getting to. And it was making people really mad. So you had people in the middle who might have been a little left, but they were saying, man, I can't deal with all of this leftist shit. And so they started to move to the right. And then some other people just needed an excuse. And like, woo, I could be racist in the broad daylight. Fuck yeah, niggers.
What do you think about like women with crazy track record, bro? Crazy. Or if a girl just starts, telling you shit like that, you're like, oh fuck, where the fuck is this going, bro?
Hey,
they just start telling stuff about their life.
Women to go to therapy. Never. My last chick.
You went to therapy with her?
Hell no. She tried to get me to go. I'm like, look, I don't have a problem. I've been existing for almost 60 years, bitch. It's you. Stay on that Thursday schedule and leave me the fuck alone.
So yeah, have you ever had a chick try to make you do crazy shit to her?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I did a lot of white chicks. They like you to choke them. Leave $2 in their wallet. Shit.
Hey, you were like Lamont on that episode, choking fucking Desmodona or what?
Desdemona.
Desdemona.
I was like Othello and shit.
Yeah, Red Fox walks in. No, son, what are you doing? Don't choke that white woman.
I told you about that one girl, man. She was like talking shit because I wouldn't really put, squeeze her. She was like, is that all you got? And then I started to get into it, but this was in the 90s and OJ had fucked up everything. I was like, nah, I'm cool. Fuck this. Fuck OJ had killed the bitch. You can't do no more, choking at that point. It was like,
Hey, that's interesting you bring that up because I was talking about that today with these fellas about the OJ trial. And they were like, they brought it up. You think OJ did it and all that? And I brought up this story of this guy I heard on the radio. I don't know if you guys ever listened. This guy used to be an investigator for the FBI or I forgot for who, but he was like one of those agencies. And this is a long time ago, bro. This is like right after the trials, right after OJ was acquitted and shit. And he said, he wrote a book. I can't remember his name. I can't remember the name of the book. But when he started dropping these fucking little tidbits, I was like, holy shit. So, everybody thinks OJ did it, right? And people say, no, I know he did it. You fucking tell somebody. This guy broke it down. He said, OJ didn't do it. He said, OJ didn't do it. He said, his son did it. His son, the son was a chef at the restaurant that Goldman worked at. Chefs carry around their own knives. They carry their own knives. A real chef has his own knives. The son was on antidepressant drugs. He always blamed Nicole Brown Smith. He always blamed her for his dad leaving his mom. He never liked her. And when he was breaking that down, I was like, holy shit, bro. I go, and he was never at any of he said, if you notice, the son was never there to support his dad at any court hearings. None of them.
But
and he said OJ took the blame because he knew they couldn't find him guilty. And that's why the DNA matched. It makes sense why the DNA was a match, because it's his son. You basically,
we knew that. Black people knew that. We just didn't give a fuck. At that point, black people was like, look, white people,
how does that feel, motherfucker?
You know what I'm saying? Why you think people was dancing on Spring Street? Even the homeless blacks were like.
Now let me ask you something about that. Did you feel like that? Did you feel that way? Like you got a little revenge? Did you feel like, as a black person, do you feel like you got a little revenge?
Look, I'm gonna tell you a little story about Cabby Jones.
Cabby Jones.
I used to drive a taxi.
Oh yeah, you told me. Yeah.
2 people I met while driving taxis. One was Bill Cosby and his beautiful, beautiful side chick. The other was O.J. Simpson. And when I met O.J. Simpson, the first thing, I get out the cab, I'm picking up his, I don't know who it is, but big black guy opens the door and he says, oh, you'll be taking the servant home. I said, okay, cool. I see OJ's daughter. I straighten up. I'm about to run to a comedy club too. So I'm like, yeah, you know, I got my work clothes on, but I can just roll out my sleeves and look like I'm average and shit, not like I'm driving a fucking taxi.
Yeah.
And so I see Arnez, and I just start primping and prawning, and she kind of looked at me, and then when I put two and two together and realized it was AC, and then I saw OJ, I said, she. That nigga ain't gonna kill me. Fuck this. I didn't even look at her no more. I was like, I'll be outside and I'll just be in the car. Whenever she's ready, I'll be ready to go. And at that point, you know, I had even stopped looking at Arnez. I said, I ain't dying for that bitch. No. We knew he either did it or the second theory was his son did it. You know, all those things that man is pointing out, all of those things were things we would talk about in barbershops. And when Johnny Cochran took the case, Johnny Cochran just exploited, just like white people do. Yep. Make you think a reasonable doubt. That's all he had to prove was reasonable doubt. And if you want to get Latinos and blacks fired up in a trial, just show them that the motherfucker's a racist. Oh, shit. I don't care if the nigga fucked my wife. That dude is racist.
He's innocent.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
He's innocent. I don't give a fuck if he came to my house every time I was gone. He's innocent. That guy's racist.
Was exactly what that case needed to throw people in doubt. Even though you could go in any barbershop and motherfuckers look you right in the face. Nigga, you think OJ didn't do it? Man, this motherfucker trying to say OJ. Sorry, Blair. OJ didn't do it and shit. Everybody knew he either did it, and then when the second story floated out, I was like, okay. But when I saw him, I was like, shit, no longer do I want to be. You know,
how big was he?
Oh, he was big. Man, that motherfucker was big.
You know what?
He was as big as AC.
God damn. You know what's crazy, Trent? You know, like when you're watching a football game and a guy missed a tackle, you're like, come on, man. I would have tackled his ass. You know, like you say shit like that. Like right? I met Corey Dillon. He used to be the running back for the Patriots. I met him in person. That's the first guy, not the first guy, but I saw him in person. I was like, yeah, I could never tackle this motherfucker. This guy just fucking
went to UW. He went to UW with a friend.
Dude, he had a head about 3 times the size of mine.
And
he was 6'3", bro, and just fucking huge. I was like, oh my.
Squat like.
And he was out of shape when I met him. He was out of shape when I met him. He wasn't even playing ball no more. I'm like, right now, I couldn't even trip his ass. I could dive his leg.
Press about 500.
I'd be like, I could dive at his legs and he'll give me a concussion. I know that shit. I know for a fact, but you know, I'm just saying that because I hate when I'm around people who like really never played football or whatever, and they're just saying, oh, come on, man, I could have tackled them. Or I could have, you know, I'm like,
these motherfuckers. Their grandmother couldn't beat them motherfuckers.
I'm like, come on, man.
Your grandmother probably beat you for saying some shit like that. Don't you be putting me out there like that, you motherfucker.
Now, let me ask you something. Go ahead.
I said I saw Oscar de la Hoya at the Montebello Town Center in the 90s, mid-90s maybe a little earlier, 93, 94. And, you know, you see Oscar de la Hoya, you know, when he was just coming up, skinny as fuck, dude.
He doesn't look that big in person.
Nah, not at all. And my first reaction was, man, I can knock that fucking out, dude.
I saw Mayweather.
A day in my life.
I met Mayweather in 2004. This is before he was the big superstar. I met him in right across the street from the Empire State Building at a Champ Sporting Goods. So I'm in there, Trent, and Chuck, my buddy Chuck, he wants to go to the top of the Empire State Building. I'm like, the fuck is this, a love affair, motherfucker? You know, like,
that's Chuck.
I told him, I seen the Empire State Building. I'm cool. I saw it. I don't need to go up to the fucking top floor. I don't need my selfie up there. Fucking just another tourist taking a picture of this shit. Whatever. I'm not like that, bro. I'm not into all that shit. You know? I just feel people want to feel important, and you know, like I just saw this guy who was talking about how people want to show off and make other people feel shitty about their lives at that moment, that they wish they were doing what you were doing. And I'm like, when he said that, I was like, that's a fucked up thing to do to people. Like, I was like,
but that's like Lifestyle and the Rich and Famous. We used to watch every week. Or
Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
You know what I'm saying? And then you go back to
I'm Ronald Leach.
Your pad is a piece of shit. You're like, these motherfuckers. But we tune in every week.
18 bedrooms, shit. We have one room. The kitchen is in the living room. Goddamn.
You remember when Method Man, was it Red Man? They had this pad that was like a condo or something like that. It was ghetto as fuck. That's the highest rated episode on Cribs because motherfuckers just kept it real. It's like, yeah, we in this shit, but we ain't like trying to be all bougie and shit. Over here, you can see the PlayStation. Over here, you can see the unwashed dishes. Them motherfuckers really took you through a real pad.
I never saw that.
Oh, man, you can watch it on YouTube.
I'm going to look it up on YouTube. So it was on Cribs and the Wu-Tang on Cribs?
No, it's Red Man and Method Man.
Oh, I'm going to look that up. I got to look that up. I'm going to watch
Cribs.
That's what's up.
Man, they had, like, they had boxes of knives, but they was all open and sweatsuits was on the floor and shit, like real niggas shit.
But that's the thing, man. That's what TV does to you, bro. It makes you feel shitty about existing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've been watching this dude watching his videos on YouTube. He's an Indian dude, man. You gotta check him out. I'll send you a link. He's a guru. Mystic, very wise, a wise man. And he's like, man, when you wake up the next morning, you already won. You know how many people go to sleep and don't wake up tomorrow? He goes, and not only the people who don't wake up, what about the people who know somebody that didn't wake up? So if you wake up and everybody you know wakes up, you already won. Everything else is just fucking what do they call it? Cream on the whatever. What do they call it? Icing on the cake.
On the drop. Yeah.
Icing on the cake. Yeah. Everything else is just icing.
My grandfather committed suicide and my sister committed suicide. You don't have to tell nobody like how you could get skewed from like just always looking at other people's shit. I was just talking to a friend of mine. She's a reporter in New Mexico, and she said she had like she lost weight, but like she was always this chubby kid. I was like, I was always the skinny kid. And now I've lost a lot of weight. And like one day, like I was someplace and one of my friends was like, damn, man, you lost a lot of weight. Don't go any further. I was like, man, if you say that one more time, I'm gonna take my skinny ass arm and stab you in the throat, motherfucker. I heard that as a kid all the fucking time. That's the one thing. People won't say shit about fat people in their face. But skinny people, oh my God, somebody walk up to you and go, damn, bro, let me buy you a meal a day. It's like, what the fuck? Man?
Oh, you don't have to tell me, bro. I don't know about black moms or whatever, but Mexican moms, when you're too skinny, ay, mijo, estás muy flaco. And then when you're too fat, ay, mijo, estás muy gordo. You gotta lose weight. Like, fuck, man, I can't fucking win with you, lady. Shit. How come you never catch me in between? Like, fuck, I hate that shit, dog. I hate that. And I like it's an excuse. It's an excuse, but Mexican women raise fat kids because they tell them, finish everything on your plate or you're not gonna do shit. And there you are, you're fucking full, but they're force feeding you, fucking expanding your stomach, and then when you fucking eat too much. I'm like, bitch, you fucking made me like this. You trained me to be fat. Now, dude, honestly, I'll be honest with you, bro. If I have food left, I feel guilty throwing it away because my mom raised me that way. Yeah. And I know it sounds like an excuse, but it's the fucking truth, bro.
And like with black people, they tell you, you're not getting up from that table until you finish everything on your
plate. Bro, you're fucking crying and shit.
Out the window.
When I was a little kid, fucking fish soup. Oh my God, fucking, I didn't want fish soup.
Dude, nasty as fuck.
Catfish soup? I like it now, but when I was a kid, I didn't like catfish soup.
Hey, we used to throw shit out the window out of 5th floor.
No shit.
We was throwing shit out the window so much. This one night, people came upstairs and they hadn't figured out what window it was coming from. And they showed my mom all the shit we threw out the window. Oh. He said, it was some fish, it was some vegetables. We was like, we didn't throw that out. And it was like, yeah, it came right out of that window right there. Man, you talking about getting the shit beat out of you to this day. If you want to hear an exaggerated story, come to my house. Yeah, they was just throwing it out the window. Like we was just sitting there. Pew, pew.
What a slingshot.
You know what I mean? There goes the catfish.
No, but there's certain shit when you were a little kid that you didn't like. Like that, there's things I grew to like you know, fish
Liver.
soup. Like, oh, I love liver.
Me
Yeah,
too.
maybe when I was a kid I didn't like liver, but I love liver. People don't like liver. I like it. I actually love
You
liver.
don't like it?
No, I don't like it, man.
Hígado
It's got this
texture.
aftertaste, man, and it sticks to your mouth. Like,
That's
like
the
a paste.
best.
It doesn't go away.
But when they fucking fry that shit up with onions, tomato, cilantro, oh my god! My wife makes bomb liver, bro.
Yeah.
That shit is delicious.
And I don't know if you guys used to eat like beef kidneys or chicken kidneys.
No, I didn't go that far, bro.
Man,
I'm fucking with you. I'm just fucking
hey,
with you.
now, if you see these
Gizzards, dog.
that too. But when you see the kidney look like a blob.
Yeah.
But it's a real kidney, like the kidneys you have in
Yeah,
meat. And it has that chewy kind of texture to it.
yeah.
And man, you cook those up with some onions and some gravy.
Oh,
my
wait a
brother.
minute,
Now listen.
Fernando. Do you eat? Fernando, wait. Do you eat lengua?
Yes,
Oh,
I love
see?
lengua.
Yes.
I love lengua.
Have you ever seen
Lengua
Have you ever seen a tongue? Have you ever seen it when they bring? Oh my
Yes.
god.
Yes, I have. My mom used to go and the supermarket. Not even the supermarket. There's this meat market that was
On
close to
Gage?
our house.
On Gage?
Yeah,
Yeah.
La Azteca meat.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You go there and it's like they killed the cow in the back, bro. Big ass fucking beef tongue. It was bloody as fuck, but it was delicious, man. That you'd make tongue tacos, lengua tacos.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit. I still remember to this day. That shit was so good.
Because there's no
It was
fat
so
in it.
good.
There's no fat. There's no nerve, bro. It's
Hey,
just the
but you
fucking
know what?
tongue.
Hey, you know what? There are Latinos that go, I don't eat the tongue.
Yeah. Oh. That's
Oh, man,
slave
the tongue.
food. Well, that's slave
black,
food.
That's black people.
Yeah, that's slave. Chitlins, that's slave food. I eat tripas like a motherfucker, bro. Like, that's slave food. Fucking
Or chicharrones. Oh,
pork
that'll give
rinds.
you heart failure. Fuck you.
Shit, motherfuckers on keto eat pork rinds. That's fucking because it's fat. So fucking people who do the ketogenic diets, that's what they tell you to snack on is chicharrones and shit.
Yeah,
And when you were a kid, they told you they'll give you a heart attack. Like what the fuck?
Can't win. That's why you got to eat.
Yo.
No, but I was saying, man, I have a friend who he's a urologist, so he's a doctor that works on the kidneys, the bladder, that sort of thing, right? We were working together one day, and he tells me that he went to a wedding and they served kidney. You know how you were mentioning kidney with, chopped up and with, onions and whatever. It was really good.
Mm-mm.
Right. And so this guy's a urologist. And so one of his specialties is working on the kidneys. And when, what we were doing, I think we were taking stones out of someone's kidney at the time. Right. And so he brings it up. He's like, yeah, man, I went to this wedding and they served kidney. And I'm like, is that right? And he's like, yeah. He goes, and you know what? In all honesty, kidney tastes just like I thought it would. And so he didn't say it was good, it was bad. He just said, kidney tastes just like I thought it would. And so my thought is, well, he must have thought that it would taste like urine, because that's what we were doing, working in the kidney. So I never tasted kidney.
Oh.
He never said it was good or bad. He just said it tastes just like I thought.
It kind of tastes like liver. It kind of does.
Nah, liver has a bitter aftertaste. Kidney.
Well, I've eaten the kidneys like of a turkey, like the gizzard and all that shit you cook up.
No.
bone.
That's different. The gizzard is different. The gizzard and the kidneys, trust me, the kidney has if it's done right, it smells like shit when you take it out the pack.
Like chitlins, like tripas.
No, those really smell. But kidney has a strong odor, not a uric odor. It just has this funny smell to it. But that same smell is a taste. And when you get that taste, oh man, if it's done right. But then, you know, like I watch these shows on TV. I was watching the other day, motherfuckers eating fish, eggs, and then, you know, monkey shit. I'm just like, it's all psychological. You know, what you're adjusted and accustomed to eating.
Yeah.
And I wish I was more able to adapt to certain things. But I saw these motherfuckers eating like these big ass spiders. And you know, at the end of the body of the spider, it's all pussy and shit to do.
Yeah. Oh, what the fuck? Fuck that.
Yeah. I was like,
it probably tastes great and shit. Like, go over here, like, touch it.
Loaded with protein. You
know? Probably like fucking the best shit you ever had. And you're like, I ain't gonna eat that shit. You know it's like when you watch that show Naked and Afraid, and those motherfuckers are like, ooh, a spider, or ooh, maggots. I'm like, ugh, fucking maggots.
I was watching that other show, one show on A&E.
Vegas?
The market. No, Before Marriage, 90 Day Fiance or something like that. But they were at this market. No, it was Below the Deck on VH1, and they went to the market, and the dude was ordering like crickets. He said, "I'll have this many crickets, and I'll have this many tarantulas." And there was a whole like marketplace for this, and I think they were in some Southeast Asia place.
Wuhan.
And
I have bats.
Chicken there got a real kick to it. Hey, the chicken there got a real kick to it.
Fuck that.
Not Wu-Tang, Wuhan, motherfucker. I'm gonna make my own rap group called Wuhan.
Hey, I've been on these dating sites, and they have like these Asian dating sites.
Oh shit.
You know, like it'd be some fine chicks, and then you'd be thinking, man, why are these chicks available? And then you see them from places like Wuhan, and you'd be like, oh, fuck it, I know why they're available. Especially if they divorced or widowed.
Hey, how are you doing? Hey, she texts you. She sends you a private message. Hey, how are you doing? I'm good. Leave me alone, bat lover. Fucking all right.
How your last husband died?
That's cold. That's fucking racist as shit, bro, to say some shit like that. Oh my God. Not racist, but you know.
Hey, let me ask you both. What is the worst thing somebody has ever said to you?
The worst thing, like racially?
Racially.
Oh, I know what it is.
Oh, I know.
No, you know what it is? You're pretty smart for being from where you're from. When you hear that shit, you're like, motherfucker, what do you think? I'm too stupid to understand you just insulted me? Not only me, but my mom and everybody who I grew up with. You didn't just offend me, you offended everybody I fucking lived around.
Yeah, no.
Like, oh, are you stupid?
Yeah. Where's yours, Fernando?
You're pretty stupid to be from where you're from. That's what I feel like saying and shit.
Well, mine. I had a dude, this old man in Louisiana. He called me the N-word, but listen, here's the thing.
What the fuck?
No, but listen.
This little ninja over here.
Right, exactly, right. Listen. I gotta tell you, it wasn't the N-word that we all know and that we've all heard a billion times. Yeah. It was. I gotta spell it for you. Okay?
Say it.
It was. All right. Look, I'm gonna say no. Nobody kill me. Okay, Trenton, I'm looking at you, man. Nobody hate me, man. All right. This is what happened to me. All right. So my brother is in the Navy, and he decides, hey, he gets stationed in Pensacola, Florida. So he wants to take his car. He wants to have his car with him in Pensacola. So he comes up with this idea. He's like, dude, drive with me to Pensacola, Florida, and then I'll pay for your airplane ticket back. You can fly back home. Because I just don't want to drive cross country by myself. So I'm like, yeah, all right, cool, man. I think it's a cool ass little adventure. We drive from LA to Florida. That'd be cool.
The 10 freeway on the 10 freeway.
Exactly. I'm going to take the 10 freeway all the way, right? So we're in Louisiana. And it's raining. And I mean rain like I had never seen before. no rain like that ever in California.
Some Katrina rain shit. Some Katrina rain.
It was crazy rain. There's a reason that they have a high speed on the windshield wipers. In California, I thought useless. You know what I mean? But we had the windshield wipers on high speed, and it still was like someone was on top of the car with a bucket. Just rain, like crazy. And we're running out of gas, all right? Running out of gas. The sun's going down, right? And so we're like, damn, we got to pull over. We got to get some gas. And we haven't seen a gas station. Finally, we see a little sign, you know, that says, you know, fuel this way. So we get off the freeway, but it's not right off the freeway. We had to get off. And then you see another little sign that says fuel, like 3.6 miles that way. So we're like, fuck it, but we need it. We need it, right? So we go 3.6 miles into the Louisiana countryside, all right? And yeah, it's this mom and pop place, right? Like a small little gas station. There's this dude sitting in the front door, and I swear this dude, the only thing missing was a piece of straw hanging out of his teeth. You know what I mean? This guy looked like he was out of a movie. Long, scraggly beard, overalls, you know, with the white, dirty t-shirt underneath, and he's holding on, you know, rocking chair, you know what I mean? Holding on to his overalls, right? Confederate flag in the back, you know? And so, and now I don't know what the laws are in Louisiana as far as gas goes, but you know, in Oregon, they pump your gas for you, right? So I didn't know what it was, but anyway, we pull up, the guy, he's sitting right in front, right, you know, in his door. We pull up, he leans over, he looks up, he looks at the car, and then he just leans back, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So I get out of the car and I walk over to him, right? And before I could say anything to him, he looks at us, he looks at me, because my brother stayed in the car. He looks at me and he goes, if you niggas want gas, you niggas are gonna have to pump it yourselves. And I was like, okay, no, here's the thing. It was nigra, Niggra. I hadn't heard that word since, I think it was like To Kill a Mockingbird when I saw that movie, the black and white movie, right? I'm like, damn, that is old school racism. You know what? I was like, damn, I was like, okay. I gave him $20. I'm like, fuck it, right? Because we need the gas. If that's his representative of the people around here, I ain't getting stuck here. You know, fuck that. You can call me that all you want. I'm paying you the money. We put the gas and we took off. You know, and I got in the car and I told my brother, I'm like, dude, this dude just called us niggas. And he's like, what? What? I'm like, this is what he said. And I had to spell it. Niggra. Nigga, I'm like, dude, that shit. I thought that was, you know, I thought it was just
wow, that's fucking scary. I mean? That's scary, bro. That's scary because I drove one time. I did a show in Beaumont, Texas, and I drove from it was an hour and a half east, so it's like 45 minutes from Lake Charles. So you drove through Lake Charles. You drove through all that shit. And Lake Charles is around the border of Texas and Louisiana. So so where I was performing was between Houston and Lake Charles, Louisiana. So I drove by myself, and I don't know shit. You know, when you've grown up where we grew up here, we feel safe driving at night. We're like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, we've never experienced no shit like that. Nothing happened, but I'm saying, I said it was late at night. I did a show at the Comedy Stop in Houston, and I said, you know what? I'll fucking take off. I'm not waiting until tomorrow. I'm just gonna take off tonight. It was already like midnight and shit like that. I'm gonna take off tonight, head out to Beaumont, see if I could check into my hotel room. Cause I was doing like this, dude. I was doing like a fucking 30,000 seat amphitheater. Like nice. It was like I was hosting. It was Tex-Mex music, and so I took off. They gave me my room. That was cool. They let me go. They let me but I didn't fucking know that all the shit I drove past from, like, I popped a tire or something. Till the next day, they told me, oh, bro, don't do shit like that. Don't drive by yourself. He goes, right here, right next door is Vidor, Texas. And I go, fuck, I never even heard of Vidor, Texas. Like, that's the last stands of the Ku Klux Klan. They got signs that say, when the sun goes down, you better be out of town. Like, or shit like.
I thought you were gonna say when the sun goes down, you better not be brown.
Yeah, like shit like that. Like when the sun goes down, you better not be around. Like if you're the wrong color, you better not be around or something. Like it's a sundown town, they call them.
Yeah,
they call those towns sundown town. Like you better not be in this fucking, like in the vicinity, bro. You better not get caught out here at night, basically. So imagine I drove by myself. Like it could have been like a fucking Mississippi burning fucking shit deal, man.
You get an accent though. Hey guys, what's going on?
What's going on? I'm looking for my cousin Toby. Which one? Toby, the really racist one. Who the fuck's racist? We're Christian. We just don't like Negras.
And any kind of cans.
And Mexicans and Bainers. We don't like Bainers either.
Oh man, it's sad that you know, and honestly, that's how I grew up, like laughing at it, because we could fight. You know, like we could fight. So
yeah, but you grew up in the Bay Area, bro, where fucking like the Bay Area is very. One thing I admire about Northern California is
stop you.
No, the people don't get along.
Hey, look, people get along, but where I grew up, shit, I told you, in the 10th grade, no, I transferred to the school in 11th grade. Kid took 3rd place in a Halloween costume of the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
He took 3rd place wearing the Ku Klux Klan costume.
God dang.
You know what I'm saying? And one of the first fights, I went 2 years to a predominantly black school, had a fight there with some white dude after we saw Roots. Oh, I wish I'd have been back then. I'd have kept him. Boom! He never opened his mouth again. But then on the football field, I'm out there. I'm standing out there. One of my partners, rest in peace right now, he's catching balls like a motherfucker. Somebody just yelled. I knew it was. Stop that black monkey! Oh, broad daylight. But we knew that was the protocol for that school. So like the blacks stood together. Filipinos, they kind of kicked it with us. Latinos kind of kicked it with us. And then you had like whites and white Latinos that stuck together. You know, that's one thing too. White people will let whitewash anything except black people hang out with them.
Yeah.
No, you too dark. You keep your black ass over there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true, dude. But damn, I didn't know there was shit like that in Northern California.
Oh man.
Because you see, like San Francisco is a very like diverse city where like people live amongst each other. Here in LA,
still
in LA, but in LA we're segregated, bro. Like you live in mostly Latinos where you live?
No, where I lived it was mostly white people.
No, right now.
Oh, where I live now is still mostly white people. It's mostly white and Latino. I live in Reseda, Winnetka. So there's a lot of like Latinos, but like it's different from where I used to live, Lakeview Terrace. Latinos up there, they were first generation. These Latinos here are more, you know, they've been here.
They don't like those Latinos at Lakeview Terrace. They blame them for they blame them for everything, for everybody.
But up there they got a lot of money, and they got ranches and they ride horses. You know.
But you got, you know what's funny is like Southeast LA, which is like Bell, Southgate, Huntington Park, all that, Maywood, Downey, fucking all that. There's a lot of people who are like 5th generation American, but they just happen to be Latinos.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of, but I don't like when they talk shit about the 1st generation Latinos. It fucking bugs me. Like they get mad at them, and I'm like, yo, the only ones ruining this country is you, motherfucker. Those people come here to work. You're fucking lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Fernando, like I'm sure you run into a lot of those people, like in the area, right?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I remember thinking one of my cousins, his former father-in-law, he's a Puerto Rican guy, and he was a veteran of World War II. And I remember him telling me stories when he got back from World War II, and he tried to buy a house in Downey. You know what I mean? And I remember him telling me that they basically said, we don't allow Mexicans here. And he's like, I'm not Mexican, I'm Puerto Rican. And they're like, what's the big fucking difference? You know what I mean?
Wow.
So they didn't allow him to buy. And the reason he was telling us that story was because my cousin bought a house in Downey, you know, the Beverly Hills of Mexico. You know what I mean? He bought a house there. So I was like, fuck, bro, you made it.
Changed.
And then of course, yeah, right. And then of course his father-in-law was there, and he was telling us the story. He goes, I tried to buy a house here, you know, like 19.
That's why
40 something.
Down there were a lot of gangs too, because like the Latinos and blacks, like Downey was one of those places. If you were caught on the wrong side of the tracks, Compton.
Yeah, I remember that.
Certain parts of Compton you couldn't even go to.
Bro,
like, were like
Alameda was the border.
Yeah, and if
Alameda,
you got caught.
Huntington Park, Bell, and all Southgate used to be white.
Yep.
They used to be white.
Even Compton.
So Huntington Park, Bell, Southgate communities. Huntington Park first was the first one. It was built for the white people who worked downtown, but they didn't want to live in the area because they used to have Mexicans living in rail cars around downtown LA. They used to live in railroad cars. Imagine no fucking ventilation, no nothing. They slept in the rail cars, bro. So these people wanted their own town, and then they named it Huntington Park, obviously after Huntington, the guy who created the Santa Fe Railroad system and all that shit. You know that. So Huntington Beach, Huntington Park, all that shit. It's all named after him. But or it was a Santa Fe that he made. One of those fucking. Anyways, so they built the community of Huntington Park for white people, and then when Mexicans started moving in, they fucking started leaving.
Yes, I remember because I've been in Bell my whole life practically. So Bell, you know, Huntington Park, pretty much the same area. When I was a kid growing up here, my best friend was a kid named Jerry who was white as fuck. You know what I mean? And my best friends, not just Jerry, but it was Jerry, Shiloh, Jacob, all of these guys that I grew up with were white, you know, and little by little, you know, they just start disappearing. And, you know, when we're kids, no internet, no cell phone, none of that.
Yeah.
When you're little and these, you know, your friend as a kid moves away, you never hear from them again. You never see them again.
Yeah.
It's like they died. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, all my friends, when they came to this neighborhood, were white. And little by little, you know, they start disappearing. As a matter of fact, there was one white family that stayed behind. They didn't follow the other white people. And those kids, they did hang out with us for a while. And then after so many years, they left too. Then it was all Mexicans, you know. In fact, that's what's happening to Compton. There's a lot of Mexicans in Compton too. You know, we're changing the name of Compton. You know, it's not going to be Compton anymore. It's Compton.
No, but you know, I heard Compton started to get gentrified, bro.
It used to be
white.
I know.
Yeah, it used to be white.
To be black.
Bro, you know, do you know what the mascot of Compton High is? Tar Babes.
What?
They're called the Compton High Tar Babes. I don't understand why they never fucking changed the name. I'm still fucking to this day, but it had something to do, I guess, because of back in the day, I guess because of the you know how they have the La Brea tar pits? Like the petroleum. I guess that's why, but oh no, sorry. Compton College is called the Tartars. So it's like a samurai warrior. So they were the baby Tartars. So Compton High was the baby Tartars because Compton College is the Tartars or Tartars, whatever the fuck.
Tartars.
Look it up. But Compton High, the mascot is Tar Babes.
Wow.
And I'm like, isn't that fucking like a racial slur?
Tar Baby, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Like that was like a 60s fucking racial slur, you know?
I don't know. I'm looking it up.
Compton High. Look up Compton High mascot, bro. Look it up.
It was this time that the mascot changed from a lion to the Tartars, a Mongolian warrior.
Yeah. At Compton College.
Yeah.
But Compton High, they're the Tar Babes.
Well, maybe they're the baby Mongolian warrior.
Yeah, that's exactly why they call it. But fuck, it doesn't sound politically correct for you to say fucking say, baby warriors or some shit. Or baby Tartars.
Yeah, that's what it says. It says the college was known for being adult Tartars, while the high school was considered baby Tartars.
Yeah, they didn't want to fucking mention it in there, bro. But if you ask anybody who went to Compton High, they'd be like, yeah, we're the Tar Babes. They'll tell you straight up. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Fucking be yelling that shit out and shit, you know? Like, fuck.
But that's just like the Tar Heels.
Yeah, that makes no fucking sense. And they're the same colors as the Tar Heels.
Yeah, they have like meanings, but like I don't think those were as bad as like Sambo or.
But wasn't that a racial slur though?
I think like during slavery or something like that, they tried to make the equation between the two, you know, like tar babies. But you know, that's who says it. When you know the history of it, like we just looked up the history of it, the Mongolian warrior, then it kind of takes the sting out of people going, yeah, that's racist, that's racist. But
but like if somebody were to ask me who you got next week, oh, we got the Tar Babes. I'm like, you know, I'm like, motherfucker, they don't know, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? You know, like,
hey, but if a motherfucker asks you who you got next week and he say, I got the Sambos, what the fuck?
I got Compton, dog. I got Compton. That's what I got. Fucking, I ain't fucking saying fucking.
You go to Denny's and I got the Pickaninnies this week.
I played baseball at Compton College. We're the Tartars. That's how I know we were the Tartars.
Right.
Tartars. And then I found out years later about Compton High School. I was like, holy shit, man. That's not even politically correct. Like fucking, you know. So here's the thing, right? I was thinking about this the other day. They were complaining about a mascot. Well, I know the Redskins, they changed the name. They're gonna be called the Washington Football Club.
For this year.
Right. For this year. They're gonna end up picking a nickname or whatever, right?
She called them the smallpox.
I'm trying I was trying to think, but I'm fucking trying to remember what I was thinking, but I remember
ran all over.
I remember it was something I read or something I saw where somebody was offended by the mascot and saying, well, I know what it was. I know what it was. So on the football helmet, on our football helmet at where I coach, I found this old, like an Aztec warrior. We're the wolf pack. But everybody wolf pack has either pack or they got a wolf or whatever. And I said, I don't want to do that. I want to get something unique, something different. So I found an Aztec warrior with a wolf's head over. And I said, ooh, that shit looks good. You know, I mean, people are going to be like, what the fuck? You're not the Aztecs. Like, we're not. But we're men representing wolves. We're the wolf pack. You know what I'm saying? So I caught flack about that, about like, oh, the kids are already brown. I mean, do you have to have the logo be brown too? You know what I mean? Like,
sometimes people are too woke for their own good.
Hold on, and I was like, I'm not ashamed of what I am, and I don't want the kids to be ashamed of what they are either. And then they were like, well, not all the kids at the school are of Mexican descent. It might be offensive to a kid who's not a Mexican to have a fucking Aztec on there when they're not even Aztec, they're the Wolfpack. And I said, well, the black guys who go to Notre Dame are not Irish, but they're fucking called the Irish. You know, and them and every other fucking minority that goes there is an Irish. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? So that makes no sense, you know? You better kill that shit right there, bro. Right. You know? Or if you go to UMass, all of a sudden you're a minute man. You know, like, what the fuck? You know? I made that comparison. Right. I go, so what do you think? You think it was wrong to put that? Because we got Muslim kids. We got, you know, we got some black kids at the school, whatever. I just chose, I liked the logo. I thought, ooh, this is a fucking badass logo, you know? Right. Fuck, I wish I could upload it just so you could see it. I liked it. It kind of looks like the Patriots guy.
Right. I actually saw it.
Yeah, you saw it
I saw it when I was logging on. I saw it on the screen.
Yeah, so that was
like green, right?
Yeah, green and blue. So that was a logo we had.
And you thought it was cool. Yeah, I've seen it before.
Yeah, so I was like, what the fuck, dude? People make a big deal about everything, bro. It's like,
yeah,
that's why it's important to control the narrative. We didn't know this. Latinos and blacks didn't know this for a long time. So the narratives that were like directed towards us was somebody else's narrative. Oh, I think all the Latinos are cholos, or they're not very intelligent, or they're all illegal. I think the blacks, they steal, they have a lot of babies. Those were all somebody else's narrative. That's why it's really important that people with voices now change the narrative.
So I don't know if you know this, but this year California is forcing high schools to add an ethnic diversity class now, and they're going to teach about racism in America, the history of it, the people who were oppressed, the causes and effects of all that shit. So it's a new class, and every high school student has to take it now.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so now you're going to learn, kids in high school are going to learn some real well, I hope so. Because when you were saying that right now, Trent, I was thinking of the movie Braveheart. You know, ironically, fucking Mel Gibson, of all people, he said that thing like William Wallace said, history is written by those who have hanged. Remember he said that? He says that in the beginning because the Scottish were oppressed by the British. You know, the British fucking treated the Scottish and the Irish, they fucking said they were less than human, bro.
Yeah, to this day, Northern Ireland.
Yep. Well, the Northern Ireland, I think Northern Ireland has ties to England because they're Protestants. They're Protestants.
They're part of the UK, right? They're part of the UK.
Well, they're all part of the UK. They're all not by choice, by force. The Irish people are Catholics. That's why they always had beef with the Protestants of England. They don't. That's why they have all that beef.
You know what a Protestant is, right?
What is
it down. It's a Protestant.
Protestant,
they broke away from the Catholics.
Yeah, from the Catholics. Yeah.
So like even like occupying Northern Ireland was still jamming Catholicism down their throat because remember UK was one of the 7 kingdoms that used to be a part of the Roman Empire.
The Roman Empire, yeah.
So like when you see a lot of this stuff, man, like going back to what you were saying about taking that class, I was just looking at somebody, one of these black guys. I sound stupid. One of these black guys, I can't remember which one. I think it was Killer Mike, but he was saying when you don't see the accomplishments of others, that's a disservice to white people because they grow up without a full spectrum of understanding the contribution of others. Just like it's bad for us when we don't see ourselves being contributors, we start to think and believe the narrative that they put out. Then these other people who don't see the contributions of other people, then they are at a disadvantage too because they think, well, I'm the shit and nobody else did anything. And that turns a lot of those people into racists because those people are like, well, what are these people upset for? The country's working great for me. And it's like, wait a minute, you need to educate yourself on a lot of things before you really start to say everything is honky-dory, for lack of a better word.
Sound like George Jefferson, honky.
You know, that used to be a regular part of our language. Like anybody would just say, man, how you doing today? Oh, I'm honky-dory.
I'm honky-dory. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this shit up, man. Trent, thank you for coming on, man.
You know, I apologize for being late. I'm usually one of those black guys, man, that if I'm not on time,
hold on. If you were, nobody knows you were late, bro, because we started when you came on. Why you gotta say it? Okay. Why you gotta announce it?
I wasn't late. I wasn't late. I went to white school. Come on, cut it out.
It's not like we're gonna be like, hey, fucking, we're waiting on Trent here, people. We're not live. You just threw yourself in the fire.
It's like this. You know that stigma's out there, though.
Oh yeah, CPT. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the colored people time. Oh, dude, Mexicans, we're fucking notorious too, bro. We wait to the last minute to leave our house. I'm out the door, bro. I'm out the door. Fucking light ass shit.
Hey, everybody's late. I go over to I've dated a couple of Caucasian girls, and I'd be like, man, where'd you learn how to tell time, bitch? You got my watch on or what?
Shit, I ain't even wake up yet. You're already here and shit.
So
the fuck?
Here at 6:30. It's 9 o'clock. That's way past CP. That's WCP time.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming. Man. Thanks for coming on.
Hey.
All right, man.